you've walked in with a smile on your face, but I think this has obviously been a trying week after the weekend's result. You will have to pick the players up, but who picks you up? Who keeps you on a level footing?
I think as a staff domain, we've analysed the game and reflected, and we're in a position where we want to put things right on Sunday. So that that's our motivation and determination this week. And the players have watched the game back, and we've had some reflections, and there was disappointment. Unfortunately, you can't replicate them high pressured moments. As it was a really important game, and there was huge pressure on it, and there was a lot of people watching the players perform, and ultimately we couldn't get it over the line, and it'll put the players in good stead going forward, and we're determined to get a positive result on Sunday to end the season on a high.
I mean, it's undoubtedly a big blow, and it must be difficult to lift yourselves for one more game, but the fact you have got one more game and you can maybe get it out of your system, if you like, is perhaps no bad thing.
Yeah, I think, we've never been beat twice in a row this season, so we can take some hope from that. But there's still a lot to play for. We want to finish second, and we know that's not fully in our hands, but we have to get 3 points on Sunday to make that happen. Claudia can still win the Golden Glove, so the squad's determined to try and keep a clean sheet so she can get a personal accolade, which would be brilliant for her. We know there's a lot of fans travelling to the game on a supporters bus. There's people paying good money to come and watch us, so we will be at our best to try and get 3 points.
And I know it's been said to you a number of times this week, and it's probably it will hit you in a week or two after the end of the season, but what you have achieved on the budgets that you've got here and where you were at the end of last season, it's been a remarkable season.
Yeah, it has, and I think I might have said it earlier on in the week, that I think once the Palace game's been played and we sit down and have some true reflections, I will be immensely proud of the squad. I am proud of them, not only of the players but of the staff as well. There's a lot of hard work goes behind the scenes, and it's been a huge team effort to get to where we have done this season, and we give ourselves a marvellous platform to build on, and hopefully we can go a little bit better next season as well.
And talking about that platform, obviously there will be players who leave, and Grace McCarthy's retiring, so there will be some change. But how do you envisage the summer panning out now and the plans for next season?
I think the team has to evolve. There's always going to be a little bit of movement. Hopefully it won't be as busy as last summer. I would like a holiday this summer. But yeah, we'll look to add to the team. I think that's important. There has to be competition for places, and likewise there might be some players who want to go out on elsewhere, and that's football. That's it's a business at the end of the day, and we'll see what happens in the summer, but hopefully we can get things done nice and early.
And is there anything in particular when you look back at this season that has surprised you, or you've learned, or you've taken and thought, actually, I've come out of this season, there's one very important lesson learned from the year?
That'll probably happen next week when I have them big reflections. I think being really clear with kind of a vision and a purpose, and almost a philosophy, and in getting the players buying into that really early helped. Bringing really good people together and having that togetherness and having each other's back all year helped get through some tough moments. So that the team spirit and the friendships that they've formed has put them in good stead to have a brilliant season.
Probably not the time to say yes or no, but have you enjoyed it?
I have. I've enjoyed being in I think we've been up there. I've not looked at the data, but I think we've been up there majority of the season, and like you say, it was a massive transformation from being at the bottom pretty much all last season. But turning the team into a hybrid team was massive. Being able to offer full-time contracts, I think everyone's seen what a difference it makes, and being able to recruit further afield from the northeast was huge. So yeah, it's been an exciting season. I've really enjoyed it, and let's hope we can finish on a high.
Thank you. Good luck.
Now, you've hinted in the past that you remember the club being in the Super League. You remember why the club weren't in the Super League all of a sudden, and you've said about your determination to get back to the Super League one day. Has this season sort of proved to you that absolutely can happen?
I think so. I don't think it's easy. I think it's really difficult. I think it'll be tougher again next year. I think the league's going to continue to grow as is the Super League. So again, as a team, we have to be better. We have to do things a little bit better, and that'll be part of the reflection process to see what we can do better off the pitch, on the pitch. But to come so close was a huge achievement, and knowing that if we can do a little bit more, when maybe we'll be a little bit closer next season as well.
The way you've done it, I completely respect that everyone's going to just be as professional as possible about Sunday's game to go out and win it. You've got to have a party at the end. You've got to enjoy what you've achieved. You've got to, because the camaraderie that you've had and everything, it's something that ultimately, when you've got this weekend over with, is worth celebrating, isn't it?
I think so. The players should be really proud of themselves. They're very professional in the way that they just want to play the game on Sunday first, and I'm sure they'll have something organised as a collective, because they're all good mates, and you know, they'll come up with something. I'm sure that they'll go out and celebrate the success in the season. We've obviously got the club awards next Thursday, which we'll all be in attendance in as well. So maybe after that they might be getting themselves on the town. Maybe.
If I could just ask you as well, obviously some terribly sad news for the club today about Charlie passing away. Obviously, you know all about Charlie. It's just terribly sad news for everyone involved, isn't it?
Yeah, he was a club legend. Our condolences go out to his family. Such a great player for the football club. Made hundreds of appearances, and he's a Sunderland club legend.
You mentioned there about how you think the division's going to be tougher next season. What's the balance for you moving forward between improving but also trying to keep what you've got sort of in the building? And you mentioned the camaraderie there that's been so important. Is that something that's going to be sort of at the forefront of your mind and trying to get the balance right this summer?
I think so. I think there was always going to be massive overhaul last year, transitioning into a hybrid model and being able to offer full-time contracts because no one had one. Like I said before, this summer is not going to be as busy in terms of the overhaul, but because we want to evolve and be better, we haven't got a bottomless amount of money that we can spend, so we have to be savvy with it, and we want to bring in extra additions to push a little bit higher up the league.
How does the hybrid model evolve from here? This is actually Spain's first season. I know there are some players who are going to turn pro this summer as they leave education, might be, but like, where does it go from here this summer, and how do you think that model is going to evolve now next year?
I think the players that we potentially going to bring in will be full-time players. We just because we use the word hybrid, it doesn't mean that they miss loads of sessions. That they might miss certain things off the pitch, but they're predominantly here when it matters in terms of being on the training pitch. So we try not to just shoehorn a word onto what the squad is. I'll bring in players that I think will add value to the team, and ultimately will be better for it.
What will it actually look like after Sunday's game in terms of when you sit down with the players and work out what's next for them, and what will you do? How will that process actually look like in terms of assessing and moving on?
It's probably already started, to be honest. The players will be gone after Sunday night. Obviously, we've finished training, but like I said, they'll be back for the awards, and then they're free to have that 2-week summer holiday. Then they've got, unfortunately for them, they've got an off-season programme to follow on the 3rd week, so they don't get much time off. It's probably the downside to being a professional footballer. They don't have 2 months in the sun. So yeah, they'll keep themselves ticking over, and we'll see what happens.
Inevitably, when you have a really good season, it's going to catch other people's attentions, and I'm sure some of the players who performed so well this season will have options. And I mean, how confident you can keep the core of this team and this squad together?
Very confident. Yeah.
Thank you.
No worries.